everyone. Welcome to another Field Trip Friday. My name's Steve.
And I'm Tanika.
Where are we going today, Tanika?
Today we're going to be at the Brown Water Treatment Plant in Durham, North Carolina.
What do they do here?
So here they take water from Lake Mickey and Little River and turn it into the clean water that we drink every day.
That sounds so awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Let's check it out.
All right, let's go.
Do you mind telling us a little, well, first of all, who are you? What do you do here?
My name is Paul. I've been doing this with the city of Durham for almost 16 years.
Nice.
I've worked at both water plants, the Williams plant and this one. I've been here over here for the last 7 years.
Cool.
8 years, somewhere there. So what we do here is we take our sample water. So we've got the raw water that comes into the plant, looks like that. Okay? And what we do is we treat the water with chemicals and filters and everything to make the water look like that. So there's nothing wrong with the water. Water's perfectly good. We run all sorts of awards. We're constantly running tests on it. Whole process, depending on how much we're treating, can take up to a day for the water to get from one end of the plant to the other.
I was curious about that. You may have mentioned it before, but I was wondering how long that whole process takes.
The easy math would say we're treating 24 million gallons of water. It takes 24 hours to go through the whole plant.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
We use roughly 6 different chemicals here. We treat for disinfectant, we treat for corrosion control, we treat for iron and manganese to get rid of that. We also treat for taste and odor and algae, depending on the time of the year.
Yeah.
So here, all of our chemicals are used on a dosage basis or pH driven. So we're looking to make sure there's a certain pH level to make sure all of our chemicals work right. And the dosage is how much we want to actually use of a particular chemical to suffice our needs to get what we want out of it or to achieve. Such as a ferric. Remember we talked about the ferric, which is iron. Mm-hmm. We run at a certain pH, trying to get all those particles to bond together to sync. So we know that on our SCADA system, when we talked about our computer system, we can actually adjust that just by typing in the number.
Oh, that's cool.
We get the water from 2 different spots, like Mickey and Little River.
Yes.
That little landing on the far side, that's where the water from Little River comes in. Okay, you can see like a little platform.
Yeah.
That pipe goes out about 50 feet and goes in. And when that ferric gets into the water, what it's going to do is it's going to start binding with all those little particles in the water to make them heavier.
Right.
Okay, so we control the pH, we add the ferric. And if you hear the noise going through here, this is a static mixer. As the water's going through, it's getting turbulent, it's mixing it all up.
That's cool. And so it's a chelation?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is creating a flock. And the next section here are flock basins. And what you'll see is rapid the water comes in here. Okay, and you can just see the little thing starting to form.
Yep.
All right, and as we go this way,
It's got this nice rusty color too.
when we go this way, what you'll actually see is those flock getting bigger and bigger. They start to settle out.
Right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
The water comes out of here, now it's going
Like
this
right
way.
in this area.
Yeah, and you can see them all swirling around.
Yeah.
So the water is actually going all the way down there. If you think of the water that you saw when it first came into the plant and was all turbulent and
Yeah.
like, you can actually start settling out.
Yeah.
You can see the change in color.
So as you walk down, just watch the water. See it's starting to change a bit clearer and clearer. And we're actually, right now, because we had to go up in the treatment rate, we're a little bit cloudier than normal. But we're going to fix that here. About 75 feet out. Once after we get to a rake change, we can actually start seeing those rakes. Like I said, right now it's just a little bit cloudy yet, and with the wind it's hard to see it sometimes.
Yeah.
So it goes from there.
And you
goes
just
on
leave it in
that
contact
side.
with the chlorine for a while, and
Yep.
then
So the chlorine's going to be there for now. So it goes from there to the clear wells. On the backside of the clear wells, it splits into each one of them. Before we had the upgrade, we didn't have that. So all of our disinfectant stuff was being done in the first clear well and transferred to the second.
Okay.
So we only had 5 million gallons of surplus water that was ready to go. Now we have 10 million. Okay? So you see the buildings down here with the blue pipes coming out of them? That's the finished water pumps that's taking the water from those clear wells and sending it to the city.
cool. Yeah, so we got to see your operations center, and you mentioned that this is a brand new facility. So you guys are kind of working with like the cutting edge of your type of water management technology. Is that?
Yep. It's a big difference, like we talked earlier, when we used to have to do a change of rate from say like 15 million to 25 million. We used to have to go out and actually physically change all the chemical feed pumps, physically change the flow rates coming into the plant and stuff like that. It had to be physically done. Now it's just a matter of through SCADA. Is actually all everything is just typed in and it automatically adjusts itself.
Yeah. One of the things we discussed is while the newer side was being built, the older side was still running. Can you talk about that?
Well,
a little
this
bit?
whole addition was done, started in October 2016. They kept the main plant running while they were doing construction, and as each step came into play, we actually integrated the new into the old, which is quite a challenge sometimes, but we actually did it. In the middle of all that, we actually won the award for best tasting water for the city of Durham, which is pretty incredible. A lot of what went on during the construction is the crew of guys that we have working here work extremely well together. And actually, when we've been given certain tasks, we're like, wow, can we really make this happen? We did. And that's the guys, the operators, working along with Tom and Brian, the supervisor and superintendent, pulled it all together and actually got what we got. And knock on wood, never had an issue through the whole process.
Oh, that's cool.
We thought if there's a process where we say there was no boiled notices, there was no nothing like that, because everything went out the door to citizens of Durham is perfect water.
That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations. Nice work. And that's a really interesting part too, is that along our journey, it seemed like you have so many tools at your disposal to kind of really keep track of what's going on, to be able to keep up with things like that seasonality of algae growth.
We were on 5 different shifts, so this plant is constantly monitored. We constantly have staff on site. Every minute of the day, there's a certified operator here.
Wow.
So we can treat up to 42 million gallons of water, and we can send a lot more than that to the city.
Nice.
Can you quickly tell us how you got into this profession? What actually is your interest in water management? How did you come to love this?
Well, I've always played with water. I swim team, the whole shot. When I was getting ready to go to college, I was either going to do marine biology or oceanographic studies. I wanted to be on Jacques Cousteau, the water guy boat, but that didn't happen. So I said, well, what else can you do? And you look at this, and you say, how do we make quality water for people and make sure it's safe? So I got into it. I've been doing it for about 20 years. Kind of a little late start, but about 20 years. And it's been fun. It's been fascinating to me because I've got grade 4 wastewater license. I can either work on the wastewater side or I can work on this side.
Cool.
So I can go both ways because water itself is fascinating. Because, we need the clean water to drink. We need to keep the lakes and everything good. So how do we balance that whole thing out?
Yeah.
So as an operator, to work here, you need to be certified. So you can we send all of our guys to school. Well, we used to send them physically to school, now they're doing it virtually. But the state offers a school once you go for a whole week, and then they have to sit for an exam. And as they get more experience, they can move up the line. So the very bottom one is C surface, and then the B, and then the A. And so most of our guys here strive to be at the A level. Again, I can't say enough good things about the people that we have here. So.
It's great to be part of an excellent team.
Yep. It's an interesting, the question you asked, that was on my side. We have a gentleman here who actually has a master's degree in chemical engineering, so he ended up getting a job here and has fallen in love with it.
Yeah, cool.
And which is kind of cool for us because he does all of our chemical math stuff.
Yeah, like the quantitative analysis.
Yeah, so we have an interesting cross-cut of people, how they came into the water profession. Some of us stumbled into it. One thing that you normally see is once people get into it, they don't leave.
Nice.
It's a job that we won't get rich at it, but the rewards are there. We always have a good job. Somebody's either turning the faucet on or flushing their toilet.
Yeah.
So, unless you majorly mess up, you have a job for life.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. It's such an essential part. I come from New Mexico, and a common phrase there is that water is life, and it truly is. It's such an important part of our world.
I think somebody once told me you can go 4 days without water before things start to happen. You can go a long time without gasoline.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really, truly important stuff. So thank you, Paul, for sharing your story.
Well, thank you guys for coming
thank-
here and being our first official tour.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
cool. Thank you again. So that was such an awesome journey.
Yeah, definitely learned a lot today.
Yeah, that was so fun. I'm super excited. Stay tuned for the live Q&A where we're going to get to actually ask some questions of water management folks and learn a little bit more about how this all works and what it takes to be on the water management team. See you there, friends. Stay tuned.
Bye.